Hello, everyone. Welcome to this video. This is the Glow Theory podcast. I'm your host, Jay Marie. So, welcome back to this channel. So, today's episode is When the Classroom Becomes a Battlefield. We're going to be talking about how trauma can affect you in classrooms, in school. And we're going to be talking about how trauma shapes how you learn in school or just learn in general. So we're diving into a topic that is very personal for me because this is something I've been learning about myself over the past couple years and with my healing journey and everything like that. And, just doing my own research on it as well as getting information from my therapist and stuff like that. And it truly is so fascinating how the brain tries so hard to protect the mind, the body, just protect you in general, that it literally shuts off everything else to just support you and take care of you. And you may not notice it. And it does show up in subtle ways until it becomes too much when you avoid it for too long. This topic for me hits close to home, obviously, because definitely grew up with really obviously traumatic experience, yada yada yada. And being in school was extremely difficult for a very long time because I just could not focus. I could not focus. I was always so like dissociating most of the time, or super hyper aware of my surroundings and everyone moving around or dropping a pencil or flipping a page, and it's like I don't even have to look. Like I can just hear it and I know. And it's just like a million thoughts running in my brain so fast, so quick about so many different things that were around me, about my surroundings and what was going on. And it made learning obviously extremely difficult. And it's not that I don't have the brains. It's not that I'm not intelligent. Thankfully, intelligence runs in the family. My oldest brother is a lawyer. My second oldest brother is a dentist. One of my sisters is in school for business. Another one of my sisters is in school to become a doctor. So it's not that intelligence is lacking. It's just that, and looking at that, my siblings grew up, thankfully for them, in different circumstances than I did. And the type of trauma that I experienced is insane, to be honest. I'm gonna have to write a book about it, um, and then how they lived, how they grew up and were raised was very different from me. And I'm the youngest out of all of my biological siblings. So they grew up with a decent mother, a happy mother who took care of them, who raised them, who made sure that they were safe, that they were okay, or a decent parent in their life, you know what I mean? Where there weren't any drugs or alcohol or crazy experiences. So they had the opportunity to not be stuck, to not be in a position where their brain has to protect them 24/7. And sometimes I look back and envy that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm here to just spread the information now. So I want to dedicate this episode to anyone who might have felt stupid in class. And I'm saying, if you endured some sort of trauma, and you didn't fully process it growing up, and, in school, you felt like you're behind or you're stupid or unintelligent. It might have not been that. It might have been from your brain trying to protect you. And I'm going to explain how that is exactly. All right, so part one. So, what trauma does to the brain? Okay, so let's get down to the basics. I have my notes, so I'm going to be looking down a little bit. So, when you experience trauma, whether that be abuse, neglect, bullying, harassment, sexual assault, grape, shit like that, and even witnessing violence, your body learns to live in survival mode. So, survival mode is when your brain is constantly scanning for danger. So your body, it stays tense, your heart is beating fast, you are on alert, on edge, on 10 is what I mean. So here's the thing, the part of your brain that is responsible for learning and processing new information, retaining information, memory, focusing, it can't work properly in that state. Because when you're in survival mode, your brain is like, no, we don't have room for new information, because when you're in survival mode, your brain thinks this is number one. We have to protect ourselves. This is number one. There's no room for retaining, for learning, for memorization, for any of that shit. We don't want that, because to your brain, safety comes first. So instead of like focusing and memorizing your math equation or the history of whatever the fuck, your brain is asking, is it safe here? Who's doing what? What's going on around us? Like scanning and dissociating in a way. And it's just like the zoning out and, having all these thoughts in your head about what other things that are not about learning. And so that's what your brain is constantly absorbing and putting all its energy into, and your body's putting all of this energy into all day, every day when you are stuck in survival mode. So there's no room or energy left to absorb any new information, period. And so what happens next when you're not doing so well in school because your brain is in survival mode and you're not able to retain anything? You'll start to think you're dumb or you're stupid, or your parents or whomever is watching you or your guardian will start to question what's going on, or the school might question what's going on with you and your intelligence, and might think you're a little slow or something. But the truth is, when you've endured trauma and you're stuck in survival mode, you're not fucking stupid. Your brain is just protecting yourself, and there's no room for new information, unfortunately. And I feel like that's the part of the brain that we don't talk about much, especially with youth and kids who have endured a lot of trauma and they don't do well in school. And the first thing that they don't do, like for me in my experiences, it's like the first thing they don't do is question like your mental health, your trauma. The first thing they do is immediately assume that you're stupid or unintelligent and that you are slow and need to be in one of them slow classes. There's nothing wrong with slow classes. I'm just saying that's immediately what they assume. For me, that was a bit of a frustrating experience because, like, because it's just like I knew I was not stupid or slow or whatever the fuck, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I just knew that. But everyone around me, my foster parents, my guardians, and at school, they just automatically assumed that I was slow or just stupid or some sort of, they were questioning if I was on the spectrum. And you know what, I might be low key, so I'm a little weird, but the intelligence part, no. And it really made me believe that and question that about me for a really long time. And I never stood up for myself because I just believed whatever they told me. I was like, you know what? Probably. Well, I didn't even question to think about the science behind this and the how trauma can affect you, because I thought I healed from because I thought I was perfectly fine. Like I thought, you know what? I just went through so much trauma and traumatic shit and have constantly gone through it. But I think I'm fine. And I can say this now because like I have healed and went through intensive therapy and fixed all the broken parts of me and did go back to school and did incredibly well. And it's like, fuck, like I wish I healed a lot sooner, but it's okay. But yeah, so trauma doesn't just affect your mood or your mental health. It rewires your brain. It changes the chemistry in your brain. It changes everything. Literally how you process information, how you retain information. It rewires it constantly, especially if you are stuck in survival mode. It will constantly rewire and adjust itself in survival mode to only just protect you, to make sure there's no danger, because you're not healing the trauma. You're not doing anything about it. So, and as you're growing and aging, it just has to keep rewiring and doing the best it can with what it's got. All right, part 2, how it shows up in school. So yeah, let's talk about how this looks like in real life, So maybe you're like the quiet kid or the kid that was zoning out. So your brain learned to basically just leave your body whenever things get overwhelming or, information overload, or if someone's yelling in the class, or, things like that, or the teacher is speaking too fast. And it's just like too much for your brain because it's already, all this energy is going into protecting yourself and doing this and doing that. And there's so many thoughts going in your head all at once and you're dissociating. And it's like, it's a lot, it's overwhelming. Or maybe you're one of those kids who was disruptive or chaotic, or because you were angry or acted out, with this rebellious behavior. Maybe it was just pain trying to be heard. So those kids who acted out or who were angry or, had this whatever the fuck lashing out at people, maybe it's because of that. Another kind of real life example is you found it hard to trust authority figures, especially when your own guardians or authority figures in your own home weren't unsafe. Like, even when teachers tried to help you, it's like you didn't know how to receive that help, I guess, because you didn't know what was safe and what wasn't. You didn't know how to receive that because you never really got that in your own home. Or another way this shows up is you might have struggled with friendships too, feeling different, feeling misunderstood, being afraid of letting people get too close. This was something I struggled with as well in school. I didn't know how to, looking back at the person or the little girl I was who just was, I don't know, she was just trying to protect herself. Um, Friendships were incredibly, some of them were good, some of them were not so great. They were hard to maintain because I always made peace with the fact that people leave. And I would literally self-sabotage a lot of my connections or friendships growing up, like especially middle school, um, and high school as well, and just self-sabotage relationships, especially if people were getting too close. Um, it felt scary and like confusing and just like, I don't know how to deal with this. This was so overwhelming and just, it made me angry. I remember it would make me angry because my brain didn't know what safe was or how to let people get close to me. And yeah, so it definitely ruined a lot of friendships for me growing up. But you know what, it is what it is. So when you've experienced trauma, connection and getting close to people can feel like danger, apparently, to the brain. So it's like when you wanted to belong or, have these close friendships with people, or you're getting really close with your friends or certain friends, the brain's like, no, it's safer to be alone. We don't trust that. We don't trust, people leave. People leave. Like, it will literally just tell you these things, or your brain will just make you feel and act out of fear and, you know, to protect you, unknowingly sometimes. And for me, that was something I definitely had to relearn. And yeah, rewiring your brain is such a crazy experience. It is insane. But thankfully, we have done that. We're going to move on to part 3, the emotional layer to it. So, the emotional layer, I mean, is like school might have developed into a place that triggered your survival instincts, where you're developing these beliefs like, I'm not smart enough, or I'll never be successful, or no one sees how hard I'm trying. That one was a big one for me. It's like, especially in high school, oh my God, looking back, I was so depressed. Oh my, I'm not trying to joke around. I just talk like that. But I was, yeah, very much in survival mode. Like, I was chaotic, to be honest, and did a lot of dumb stupid shit. And it's like some of those memories when I was healing, like they came back to me. Like some of those memories I didn't even know existed until I started healing and remembering the fuck shit crazy things I did. But the one thing that was really embedded in my brain is like no one sees how hard I'm trying. Like I'm trying my best here, and I don't know what else to fucking do about this. Like I don't know how to do better. And it's like I would literally do the most. Like I would spend hours studying or going and reviewing my flashcards or whatever the fuck. I would do the absolute most. I would spend hours a night, and still do terribly because I was not memorizing shit. I was not retaining information. Um, and there was so much shit going on in my life. It was just such a chaotic time. Like, man, kind of gets me like emotional thinking about that because it's like I was really trying there, and it's like, I don't know. And then having thoughts like, oh my God, people think I'm so stupid or I'm slow or something or whatever the fuck. And yeah, it is what it is, right? But I'm here to say those aren't the truths. Those are trauma responses, by the way. And it's like, it is so easy for people to carry that on into their adulthood, finding it hard to focus at work or, you know, retaining new information and shit like that. That's why healing your trauma and rewiring your brain is so important, especially if you've been through intense trauma. It is so important because it affects you, and it can affect you for the rest of your life and how you do things and operate. And without this healing, without going to therapy, without me taking time away from work, people, friends, this, that, and the third, like literally, if I didn't do that for that amount of time, oh my God, I wonder where I'd be right now. I wonder how I would be doing right now. Because at that moment in time when I decided I needed to heal, I was pretty much broke and homeless and jobless. So it's like, imagine if I didn't do shit about that. Oh, yeah, and I was drinking and smoking heavily. So imagine if I didn't do shit about that. And then to be able to do that and rewire my brain, regulate my nervous system, and learn more about trauma and how it affects you deeply, not just the mental. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have gone back to school and done incredibly well with honors and still gone back to school because we want to get our masters. You know what I mean? And it's like I wouldn't be in this position right now where I have my own apartment, where I do have stable income, where everything is working out and aligning for me because I took that damn time to work on myself. So everything working out for me is my reward. I guess for me, it is my reward. I'm getting this time back that I lost so many years of. And it's like, I'm still so young too. So it's like, I feel like I've lived 50,000 lifetimes in one life. And it's just like, it's just so incredibly important to truly, 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 truly heal yourself if you have trauma. It's so important. It's why the world is so fucked up because we have these people who fucking go through trauma. Their father, the mother was beating on them, or they're alcoholics, or whatever the fuck. They grow up unresolved, and then they go and have fucking kids, and then they do the same shit, and then their kids grow up and do the same shit. And it's like we have all of that running around this world today. Wonder why our world is so fucked. Heal yourself, please. It's not just for you, it is also for the well being of society as well. Just kidding. It should be just for you. And changing that generational trauma. We want to change that, flip that narrative. So, part 4 is healing and reclaiming your power. So, kind of what I was talking about, do what you can to heal yourself. But when you are healing and reclaiming your power, that starts with your trauma. You need to figure that shit out. Like, you need to go and work through all of that with a fine tooth comb and go through all of it. Because if there still is some shit lingering in there, it will still affect you. it will still carry on. It will still be in your body, embedded in your brain, and you might unconsciously still be in survival mode. So it's like you really have to go, so it's like you really have to go through everything, and every single thing that truly deeply affected you traumatically needs to be processed correctly, because you don't want to keep carrying that baggage and unconsciously still be in survival mode, and then have that survival mode stay stuck in you for a long time where it's affecting your body, your physical body. Because a lot of illnesses are because of unresolved traumas, by the way, or unresolved something. There's something that's wrong. And also just having a lot of compassion for yourself. Don't rush your process. Don't compare your process to anybody else. Don't compare your life to anybody else. You got to focus on your path and your journey, and give yourself compassion and kindness, and allow yourself to just, it's okay. It's going to be okay. You know what I mean? And you know what? It's easier said than done. I feel like for me, it's almost like a little guardian angel or something that really nudged me the fuck on to just keep powering through, just keep powering through. Or just even in moments where I was just like, fuck this place, if you know what I mean. There was still, and having those thoughts of like, I don't think I can do this. It's like, I don't think I will be able to be what I thought I could be, or do what I thought I could do. And because as a child, like, especially when I was like in the fifth grade, I would tell myself, I'm gonna become the CEO, I'm gonna become this, I'm gonna become that. And there was no thought process in it. I just said I would, and slowly that got chipped away and chipped away and chipped away and chipped away until I didn't believe in that anymore. And even in, those moments where I was so down bad, I just, that little nudge, like, nope, you're not done today. You're not done yet. So it definitely is different for everyone, but just try your best to have compassion and kindness for yourself. This is your first time experiencing this life as this font, as this person with this path and this journey and these people and these situations. So be gentle with yourself. It's okay. It is okay. You're experiencing, you're learning, you're growing, and that is okay. As long as you keep getting back up for you, for yourself. And then with the healing, there is the reconnecting with safety and rewiring your brain to understand and know what safety is. Creating environments that are safe, that are calm, being around people who are safe, who are calm, who bring that comfort and joy. That's why romanticizing my life has become such an important aspect or ritual that I do. It's so important for me. I need comfort and I need peace everywhere. I need it everywhere. I cannot be uncomfortable. So I've been uncomfortable for a very damn long time. So finally experiencing this peace that I have, it's a must. So my home is curated exactly how it needs to be to give me that safe space, to give me that comfort, and and having wonderful people in my life who also give me that peace and that comfort. Because even sometimes when you do heal your trauma, some days you will have like memories or flashbacks that like to cause you pain, or just ruin your fucking mood. And that does that to me sometimes. And luckily I have just a very special person who truly just takes care of me. And that has been, guys, that has been so healing, and I don't want to get emotional. Truly amazing. 10 out of 10 stars. So make sure that you surround yourself with safe people who are not judging you, who are there to support you and take care of you, and making sure that you're in environments that are safe for you as well, and doing things that feel safe as well. Number 3 is relearning how to learn again. That was something I had to do for myself, especially when I was going back to school for, my degrees and shit. And it was great because I obviously went into something I was interested in, but also like it was just so different. Like I had the ability to just focus and concentrate and retain, and the memory, like literally, it was just like, it was a bit of a shocker for me. I was like surprised. I thought it was like, oh my God, this is just a phase. It's going to go away. And I had to, teach myself to not think those thoughts. But truly, like, just, it was great. And I was really proud of myself, and having those, little proud moments helps you with relearning and finding the joy in learning again. And yeah, especially if you are learning about things that you really are interested in. Oh my God, I'm a fiend. When I'm like interested in a certain topic or anything, I will do my research. I will do my research upon said subject or thing that I'm interested in until there's no more information to retain. But lastly, I want to say affirm your worth. Going through these steps, going through these situations where you've experienced trauma and you're trying to learn, like, and you've gone to therapy, right? Right? You found your safety, you're relearning, and affirm your worth. Affirm that within yourself. Know that you don't need to prove your intelligence to nobody, because you are always capable. You are always intelligent. You are always smart. Your brain had to do a little extra work behind the scenes to make sure that it was a safe environment for you. And we love that. Thanks to her. We love that, but that door is closed now. She doesn't need to be in the driver's seat. There's no more survival mode, right? Affirm your worth because you know you're smart, because you know you're intelligent, and because you know you don't have to prove yourself to nobody. Don't let yourself fall back into old thought patterns too. Alrighty, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope this was helpful at all. Yeah, because this one I definitely could relate to heavily. And yeah, I feel like unfortunately it's a lot of what kids go through, and it's like a lot of teachers at school don't even notice or, excuse that as even being a reasoning as to why they're not doing well in school. And it's like we gotta we gotta start normalizing that. We really do, because it's not that they're unintelligent, and it's like it's shameful to tell a kid, little kid, when they're still learning and there's so much potential there, and you're telling them, you're a little slow, and setting them back on purpose. But it's not even their fault, it's their environment, and their body is just in survival mode. Oh my God, I could never. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you stay tuned for the next episode, whenever that may be, because I post randomly. So stay tuned for the next video. Drop a like if this was something that hit close to home or you liked it, whatever it was. Share it with your friends, your family, teachers. Inform your teachers about this. I don't know. Yeah. Stay tuned for the next video.